Samantha is looking amazing. She's done such a good job. And the whole idea is आप जो करें उसको पूरा believe करके करें.
I wrote most of the dialogues obviously in English, but certain places I knew these Hindi lines are going to hit.
जब आप एक सही intention के साथ और एक सही समझ के साथ कोई फिल्म बनाते हैं, वो लोगों तक उसी intention के साथ पहुंचती है.
Atul sir is the one I was worried about because of the experience he comes with, and I know he's like a method actor. He jumps into the script completely.
आजकल of course social media है आपका, 2 सेकंड में तो पता चल जाता है लोगों की क्या opinion है. Like for me, Smita Patil ji, I think she was such a terrific actress, you know, and you watch her films. She was working in commercial films. She was working in your, you know, parallel films, and one of the most popular actresses.
Behzad Kambara, welcome on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, sir.
All right, and congratulations for Thursday. I think the response to the promo has been absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you.
My first question to you will be, this is your second film. You're coming up on a platform, and we're not plugging in the platform at all.
Yeah.
But the platform has a massive reach.
Yeah.
And you know it for that on the day of the film coming up on the platform, you will be having a substantial audience to yourself, and that goes in many crores. And the promo looks really good. If the film is good, that numbers can multiply by many folds. As a director, how comforting is it for you that you don't have to grapple with the weekend forces and the forces that you have no control of?
I think it's a very calming thought, because the first film I did was a theatrical, and I knew the madness that would go into, as I've said earlier, I mean, making a film is the easier part. Releasing it is the actual tough part for any film. So here on the digital platform, I think there's a calming factor that I know that the film is gone and it is going to release and people are going to see it. And if it's good, it's going to have its own legs, which exactly. I think is actually it's very calming. It's calming. There's no Thursday night freak out situation that happens on a Friday release. So I think that's a great, it's great for people like us who are, I'm going to say it, who are nobodies, to have a film out there and then hopefully become somebody someday.
I believe this is something that mujhe lagta hai, and I have a gut feeling it will happen like this. There is this sudden interest that is going to be there in you, in Behzad Kambara as a director. Maybe it was not there to that extent in your first film, after your first film, but after the promo, there will be that interest level. Because, personally, someone who likes watching good content and who can get bored easily, I was hooked onto this promo. And I was looking for those, those fault lines. कि यहाँ पर कुछ ये होगा, शायद हो सकता है यहाँ पर कुछ jingoistic element आ जाए, यहाँ पर कुछ एक और कुछ element आ जाए, which is like predictable that we've seen it before. But I could not find that. And there is this element of human element which really intrigued me. Like, I would want to see the film. What the hell is Naina going to be doing? Because it looks very intriguing. It looks intriguing at the human level. You have a very fine cast in Atul Kulkarni and Dimple Kapadia. Obviously, Yami is looking very good, and there's Neha Dupia as well. So how do you look at this change of perception that is going to happen around Behzad Kambara as a director?
Oh, it's exciting. I mean, the trailer did release about 3-4 hours ago and the phone did blow up.
I'm sure.
I think it's great, coming from absolute no film connection, a complete outsider, to get that sort of recognition, even if it lasts for a day. I think it's a great feeling to go back. As in, when the head hits the pillow, I'll be at peace tonight. So for me, it's great. And obviously, I always prefer to work with the people I've worked with. So Blue Monkey Films is the people that took this film to Ronnie sir, who enjoyed it, and Pashan got the whole thing in place. So from what I hear, I'm going to be working with them again, and it's a happy place to be.
It's a happy place to be. Okay. And we are in a new world. I think maybe 2 years ago, if you tell someone that you're releasing the promo of a film and the film is releasing next week, people will find that insane.
Yeah.
But today, it is a reality, because
Yeah.
it is, I think, maybe more sensible to release the promo right before the release, because the retention power will be that much more.
Absolutely. I think it's the digital age. It's the world of 5-second videos and 15-second reels that, make things happen. And we were actually going to release on Monday and Tuesday, but the unfortunate demise of Lata ji. So I think everybody collectively took a decision that let's push it back a couple of days. And then what happens, happens. So at least today, seeing the response, it's blown up nicely. So I think it'd be a strategy that might work in our favor.
Tell us something about the writing process.
Well, I had the seed of a woman taking kindergarten or play school children hostage and demanding to meet the Prime Minister. Why, what, when, how, I had just no idea. So me and my co-writer, who is actually my college friend, Ashley Lobo, he's a producer on this film as well. So then we started putting our heads together and started finding out as to why she would do this. Is it a mental issue? Is it something she's struggling with? So all these questions we put on a sheet and started understanding which answers would be more thrillerish, which would be more jingoistic, which would be more human. And then we put everything together and then started writing. I think I was actually going to leave for the US in 2019. After a long time, I was getting to take a vacation. So the caveat was, you finish the bloody screenplay and then only you will get to leave, by my friend. So I wrote 185 pages and then ran away. And then by the time he came back, he cut it down to about 130. So then we had a pretty tight script at that time.
So when you say that you wrote 185 pages, now tell us what exactly does that mean in terms of, is it the outline of the story? Is it also the screenplay? Does it also includes like dialogues or maybe basic structure of dialogues? What does it include?
So I personally like to put down a story first. I wrote about 35 pages of a story. It was quite extensive for a storyline. And then I knew I have all the elements inside that story to open it up into a screenplay. I wrote most of the dialogues, obviously, in English, but certain places I knew these Hindi lines are going to hit. Like when Yami has that trigger line, which is these little things from my limited control over Hindi, I'd put them down in the dialogue process. But for me, yeah, it's the story first, then the screenplay with dialogues. And I like to sit and say the lines to myself. I cue myself, talk myself, and see that the lines are tight. There is no 3 and 4 and 5 line dialogues, nothing that sounds like a monologue. It has to just play off each other. So that's the process. I like to just keep it tight, the words.
Now you're having a police officer. She's a lady police officer, and she's pregnant.
Yes.
That's another catch, I believe.
So what happened was, when we started the film, Neha wasn't pregnant. In the second lockdown, when I was starting, after that, I was starting with Neha's portions, she got pregnant. So I had shot a day with her before she was pregnant. So she called me home and said, listen, I have to tell you something. I said, yeah, go ahead, tell me. So I'm pregnant. So for a second, I said, okay. All right. So I said, don't worry, we can work it out. We'll manage it with a few changes in the script and we are good to go. She had a massive chase sequence in the earlier one. I said, listen, by the time we come down to shoot, you're going to be maybe 7.5, 8 months pregnant. It's not worth the risk running around in by-lanes trying to catch people. I said, we'll figure out a smart way to do it. So she was more than gung-ho about it. So the pregnancy fell into the lap. And it elevated the character to another level.
Yeah, I think so, because it makes it different. It makes it different.
Her breathing, her everything became so different. It added to the stress. So I called up and thanked Angad a lot.
Okay, and Atul Kulkarni and Dimple Kapadia. We'll come to Yami after that.
As I was telling, with my only fear, as I said, I've known Dimple ma'am from earlier. So my rapport with her was very easy. And she read the script. She liked the idea. And she was on pretty much quickly. Atul sir is the one I was worried about because of the experience he comes with. And I know he's like a method actor. He jumps into the script completely. But he did so 100%, man. But it was just a breeze to work with Atul Kulkarni. We sat as I said, days before this, we started shooting. We did readings. We tweaked the lines. It was a fun experience working with Sir, genuinely.
All right, and I think he and Yami's character, they're having quite a catch-22 sort of situation as well, in a way.
Yes, because one is making the demands and the other one is trying to fulfill them or stop them. So he's basically the negotiator. So they are at loggerheads throughout the film.
Right. And what about Yami Gautam? Looks like maybe a performance of a lifetime for her.
Yeah, in my opinion, I've told her this also. I said I think this is unreal, what she has pulled off, and all credit to her. I can't take any of it. Because for her, I'd never seen a mean streak of Yami Gautam before all the films that I've seen of her. She's always the quintessential girl next door. I saw a little jhalak in Uri, where I said, wow, she's got a streak. And I think then she just fit perfectly for this. Hello, Yami. Dear.
Hi.
On that note, Yami Gautam enters.
Yes.
Hi, Faridoon. Sorry,
Yes,
one person gets late and it's a chain, and that person was not me, I assure you.
No, that's okay. Aaj aapka din hai.
That I can vouch for, even on set. She was never late.
Yeah. So it's not me. It's not coming from me.
All right. So,
hello.
Aapki tareefein kar rahe the. Behzad, we'll let him continue that, and we'll come to you. So, Behzad, please continue.
Yeah. So as I said, when I saw that little streak in Uri, I realized that, wow, this person has a mean side. I said, then why not get her to be completely mean with this film? And she's nailed it. Whether people like the film, don't like the film, separate story. But if somebody says something about a performance, I'd be really surprised, is what I'm saying.
So, Yami, he says, best performance of your lifetime so far.
Always nice now when your director and other people say that. So I think the actor should always remain humble and should just soak in all the compliments. But in terms of script, yes, in terms of the role, in terms of what the film is, I can confidently say it should be one of my best so far, or best so far in a very different aspect. And I'm just lucky that the script came to me first, but because I'm sure had it gone to anybody else, I don't think it would have come my way. No chance, anyone would have skipped this. So I'm just thankful to my stars also for making sure it just reached my hands first.
So he says that that element of mean is something that is working for the film, but it involves children. So did you have apprehension about that? Because you seem to be, I think, killing one of the kids, at least in the program.
See, what happens finally in the film that should be left to the audience when they watch the film. So I'll reserve my comment for that. But no, there was no reservation because I know the script. I've read the script. I've shot the film. I know the story. So having been part of a team where you know what's happening, why is it happening, what's the backstory, what's the climax, what is it? So I think keeping everything in mind, I didn't have any reservation. Of course, there are always questions. There are always concerns. For a second, you do feel that, okay, at this point, if something is happening, see, this is when it comes to thriller or psychological drama or what the film is trying to do, or at least trying to set up what you've seen in the trailer, every important juncture will have these questions because something linear is happening at the film, and and at the same time you need to at least try and anticipate what the audience would be feeling with you at that point of time. That believability factor is really important, that whatever you're doing, it should be believable to the audience that yes, this is it is happening. So you need to it's not just one of those things where, okay, this is my perspective and let's see how it goes. You need to really count in the audience factor also and take them with you while you are filming certain scenes or shooting certain scenes and writing certain scenes. So I think a lot of factors had to be counted in and factored in while making these films at the same time. And no, coming back to your question, there was no apprehension. There was a lot of effort. There was a lot of course, brainstorming and a lot of things.
There's a funny angle to this though, because she was very method in her approach to the role. So she had told me that, listen, Behzad, I'll not interact much with the children because I need to be zoned in because of all the things, all the horrible things that I'm doing. I said, and I'd met the kids before already several times. I said, okay, best of luck. So the minute she walked on set, they rushed to her, jumping all over her, hugging her, and this and that. And she broke. Then she had to sit down on the floor, entertain all of them for a very long time before she could get back into character. And this would happen.
Oh God. Oh God, that's a different.
So much
That's
for
a
method
different-
acting.
yeah. There was a different thing altogether. But yeah, coming to the mean thing, where was the mean streak in Uri? कहाँ था वो? कहाँ लगा आपको mean streak?
Interrogation.
अच्छा वो,
हाँ.
correct.
कान वान
Not,
खींचिए.
not mean, but yeah, just like very straight and very like.
Perfect. That did the
you
job.
know, yeah. Although it's very different.
To which your husband put a post today, no?
Yes.
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 He said, I'm now scared for my wife. He tagged me. So I replied to him, I said, why, bro? Where's the Josh?
I said, that's for life, Aditya.
Yeah.
You gotta put up with this Josh thing now.
Yeah. I said, don't worry, you have the Josh. So that's what I told him.
यामी एक जो सवाल मेरे जहन में आ रहा है कि आप अभी हमने प्रोमो देखा है और प्रोमो में एक बहुत ही सीरियस आपका एक पूरा लुक है and you know there's primarily nothing glamorous about it and then suddenly you appear in this Zoom call and looking like a fairy or something like that, which is quite a transformation as well. So I think first of all the marriage seems to be really working because आप पहले से ज़्यादा खूबसूरत हो चुकी हैं. लेकिन जब आप ऐसे देखती हैं कि एक किरदार आपका है एंड उसके लिए आपको एक सर्टन आपको फिजिकलिटी लेके आनी है, लेकिन रियल लाइफ में आपका जो पर्सोना है वो अलग है, तो वो आप डिस्कनेक्ट कैसे करती हैं रियल लाइफ से और अपने किरदार से, स्पेशली अ किरदार लाइक दिस व्हिच इज वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड.
There's always एक और साइड है मेरा और आई थिंक हम सबका होता है. एक तो ये है और एक आप जब मुझे बिल्कुल घर पर देखेंगे जो मुझे चंडीगढ़ जाना होता है ना घर पे मम्मी पापा के पास, तो मेरे डैड स्पेशली बोलते हैं कि बेटा आज किसी ने आना है घर पे, कुछ थोड़ा फॉर्मल कुछ पहन लेना, बिकॉज दे नो माई पेटेंट स्टाइलिंग एट होम इज जस्ट pajama and those worn out night suits which I've worn some 50,000 times, but I'll never discard them because they're so comfortable after every wash. So that's my most favorite thing to be in. That's the real me. This is obviously a part of the job that I'm in, but otherwise as a person I'm the most simple and the least bothered person कि आपका hair makeup ये सब क्या कैसे दिख रहा है घर पर. तो एक तो वो एस्पेक्ट है. दूसरा आई थिंक फरीदून बीइंग एन एक्टर, यही बहुत जरूरी है इस चीज पर स्ट्रेस करना कि मेरा क्या काम है, टू अंडरस्टैंड माय जॉब, टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाट यू वॉच. जब आप किसी किरदार को सामने देखते हैं या जो भी, जब आपको एक ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है कि एक अच्छा आपको किरदार मिल रहा है, यू शुड फॉरगेट एवरीथिंग. यू नीड टू. दैट्स माय जॉब, दैट्स माय प्रोफेशन. And जो vanity होता है, it's not that same hair and makeup is so important to make you look like that part and maybe enhance it, if nothing else. So I think that अगर आप किसी को believe करवाते हैं कि अच्छा ये character ऐसा हो सकता है, कोई भी film आप ले लें, that's उसमें आपका जो look है, that's a very important part. अब same अगर film में मैं अपना पूरा hair makeup करके मैं बैठ जाऊं या every shot has some that lip color, whatever, it makes no sense. It's very fake job done, and बहुत कम weirdly, but अब इसकी I think awareness बहुत ज़्यादा है इस aspect की, that we need that vanity should be there to create characters and not for any beautifying anything. What is beauty? It's literally in the eyes of the beholder. If I'm looking the part, I've done a beautiful job.
Yeah.
Even if I've looked the most, for the lack of a better word, but non-glamorous or unconventional, I've done my job. That's it. Be it any film, you need to look the part. आपको वो भूल जाना है कि मेरा हर उसमें आपको touch up करना है, मैं कैसी दिख रही हूँ, मैं कैसे कर रही हूँ. Should look the part. Of course, I need to see the mirror. But बहुत सारे shots में I don't even do that. You need to just soak in and believe you are that character and forget everything. I think at least my effort will be that, or whatever the character demands. If it demands to look in a certain way, of course you have to. But अगर कहानी इस तरह की है जहाँ पर इस तरह का look है, एक ही दिन का लुक है या जितने भी दिन का है, जो भी है, it can't be, you know, something which looks fake.
Just basically मेरा सवाल मेरा यही था कि that obviously जो आपको किरदार के लिए आपको जो रिक्वायरमेंट है वो आप निभा ही रही हैं, वो दिख भी रहा है, और जब हम आपको अभी रियल में देख रहे हैं तो आप बिल्कुल ही अलग दिख रही हैं, which is a complete
बाल लूं क्या?
contrast.
बाल मैं कर लूं दोबारा?
नहीं, please, it's अभी जैसे आप अभी आपका जूम कॉल खुला है तो वो एकदम बहुत ही एकदम बिल्कुल वो स्विट्जरलैंड वाला मोमेंट था, यश चोपड़ा की फिल्मों वाला. सो मेरा बेसिकली कहना ये था, बिकॉज देयर आर एक्टर्स जिनका कि जो रियल लाइफ पर्सोना होता है और जो उनके जो ऑन स्क्रीन जो पर्सोना होता है उसमें बहुत बार चेंजेस नहीं आते हैं, बहुत बार आते हैं, बहुत बार नहीं आते हैं. इट्स समवॉट सिमिलर. सो बेसिकली my question was that how do you disconnect from your character and in your real life? So that was primarily the question. आपको whatever it takes for a role, वो जो आपको करना है वो I think किसी भी अच्छे एक्टर की निशानी है जो कि आप हैं. So जो डिस्कनेक्ट वाला पोर्शन था वो मेरा सवाल था, which I think आपने आपके पिताजी के हवाले से बता दिया कि आप
बिल्कुल
घर पे आप किस तरीके से आप होते हैं पजामे में. ओके, एक आपके आने से पहले हम लोग बेहजाद से हम लोग बात कर रहे थे कि अब जैसे ये फिल्म इन्होंने मुझे बताया कि ये डिजिटल के लिए ही बनाई गई थी. It was not as if it was conceived as a theatrical release and then it has come on digital. Now अब उसमें क्या होता है कि जैसे आपके जिस तरीके के आपके परफॉर्मेंसेस आए हैं, आपके जो भी अब तक आपने फिल्में करी हैं, तो जो एक थोड़ा सा स्टीरियोटिपिकल एलिमेंट होता है स्पेशली बॉक्स ऑफिस को लेकर और वीकेंड को लेकर, तो उसमें बहुत से लोगों के इनपुट्स होते हैं कि ये भी होना चाहिए, ये वो है कि मे बी फीमेल सेंट्रिक एक टर्मिनोलॉजी होती है कि क्या वो उसका हमें रिटर्न्स मिलेंगे, किस तरीके से हम वो करेंगे. लेकिन डिजिटल के ऊपर आपको कहानी इंपॉर्टेंट है, और दूसरी चीज ये है कि जिस प्लेटफॉर्म पे आप आ रही हैं उनकी रीच इतनी ज्यादा है कि पहले ही दिन जो है एक आपको बहुत ही सब्सटैंशियल आपको रीच मिलने वाली है. एंड अगर फिल्म में दम होगा then it will find its legs, as Behzad just said. Do you find that fascinating as an actor, that you don't have to have that weekend element in the back of your mind while you are discussing the script, while you are filming it, and while you're promoting it?
Currently, yes. I'm glad कि इस point of time पे जिस situation में हम हैं, जो हम face कर रहे हैं, any which ways with pandemic and with the way the social and the economic structure is kind of shifting when it comes to films and theaters and everything, usko dhyan mein rakhte hue I think I'm glad that it found its way with Hotstar, it's found its way with an OTT platform where yes, I don't have to worry about the box office things weekend, but जो फिर भी एक जो ओपिनियन है एक जो ऑडियंस का या आपके इंडस्ट्री से सबका, डायरेक्टर्स का, प्रोड्यूसर्स का, वो तो फिर भी वही रहेगा. एंड दैट्स वेरी एसेंशियल बिकॉज इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर सर्टन स्टोरी, सर्टन सब्जेक्ट्स, या अगर आप एक फीमेल सेंट्रिक फिल्मों की बात करते हैं या इस तरह के किरदारों की बात करते हैं, तो डू वेल सो दैट शायद बॉक्स ऑफिस वाइज नहीं, बट इट गेट्स ऑल द लव एंड ऑल द आईज, so that और ज्यादा encouragement मिले for producers and writers to create such more films, to create such more work. ये तभी हो पाएगा. It's not something which can happen overnight where suddenly अब ये and any which ways what I meant, the whole structure is changing, because forget just films which are headlined by female actors, but otherwise also for mid-budget films or small-budget films now to या जिसको आप niche audience बोलते थे या बोलते हैं, to find its way right now in theaters is going to be very challenging. We've seen that it is going to be very challenging. So I think it'll take time. It'll take time for it to find its path once again. So meanwhile, I think this is a great platform to still hold on to your audience, for them to believe कि okay ठीक है theaters में नहीं है पर यहाँ पर भी हमें कुछ ऐसा नहीं है that people are just compromising anywhere on content कि चलो of course can't take away जो एक cinematic experience होता है वो एक cinematic experience ही होता है, but this gave us a huge platform to hold on to our audience and hold on to people जिनके लिए हम ये सब हम बनाते हैं फिल्में, so that whenever there is time for your theatrical release also, and I would personally like to dabble between both the mediums. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक बार जब theaters fully open हो जाएंगे and the mid-budget films will find its way back again and I think this is a great discovery. This has been a great thing that we've all explored, and I'd love to dabble between both the mediums. But उस टाइम तक शायद एक ऑडियंस का जो एक भरोसा होता है ना एक सर्टेन एक्टर पे या राइटर पे या डायरेक्टर पे या कि अच्छा इनकी फिल्म में कुछ होगा कुछ अलग. वी नॉट सीन देम लाइक दैट सो फार, बट यू नो दे क्रिएटेड दैट. एक आप खुद की एक ऑडियंस बनाते हैं. So there hasn't been any cutoff from that, which was, I think, very, very important. Hence, yes, coming back to your question, it's sort of a relief, but at the same time, because this is something which I'm personally doing for the first time and headlining a film for the first time, and a film like that, I'm very anxious to see कि किस तरह से response मिलता है फिल्म को. ट्रेलर को तो बहुत अच्छा response मिल रहा है और लोग बहुत support कर रहे हैं. और but बहुत जरूरी है ये मेरे लिए, बेजाद के लिए, सबके लिए, that this film does well, and we'll get to know. You still get to know, if not box office wise, but there are parameters to know how your film has done on a certain platform. आजकल of course social media है आपका, 2 सेकंड में तो पता चल जाता है लोगों की क्या opinion है. I'm talking about the genuine one, not the paid one and all that. So तो जो समझ में आता है कि ये एक genuine criticism है या एक genuine compliment है. So yeah, so I'm anxious to see what happens.
So Yami, one more question that I was thinking of was कि जैसे देखिए बहुत से जो बिग स्क्रीन एक्सपीरियंसेस होते हैं, जैसे अभी आज के टाइम पे पुष्पा भी आई है, तो उसमें ओ अंटा जो समांथा का गाना है वो बहुत पॉपुलर हो रहा है. You know, it's a cinematic song. You have a good time. People are making reels out of it all across the world. But जैसे ये भी हम देखते थे, जैसे अगर फॉर एग्जांपल अभी आपकी फिल्म ये थर्सडे का हम प्रोमो देख रहे हैं, बहुत बार हमने ये भी देखा था कि दैट जो आपने जैसे मिड लेवल फिल्म्स की आपने बात करी है, फिर एक फिल्म्स दैट इग्नाइट इंटरेस्ट एंड यू नो दे मेक यू थिंक. बहुत बार हम लोग देखते थे कि ऐसी फिल्मों में भी सिर्फ एक पब्लिक को ये चाहिए, जनता की डिमांड्स की वजह से, थिएटर की वजह से, उसमें भी गाने डाल दिए जाते थे, आइटम सॉन्ग आ जाते थे, कॉमेडी ट्रैक्स कभी कभार आ जाते थे. लेकिन यहाँ पर आपकी फिल्म में जो मैंने पढ़ा है, मुझे अंदाजा हुआ कि उसमें नैना की एक बैक स्टोरी है. इट्स वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड बैक स्टोरी एंड दैट इज रिवील्ड इन द फिल्म, व्हिच पर्सनली आई थिंक कैन बी अ वेरी वेरी गुड एक्सपीरियंस वाचिंग इट व्हाइल वाचिंग द एंटायर फिल्म. सो क्या आपको एज एन एक्टर, क्या आपको ये चीज आपको क्या अच्छा लगता है कि दैट आपको एज अ क्रिएटिव पर्सन या आपको या बेहजाद को कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करना है कि हम इसके अंदर भर्ती की चीजें डालें, बिकॉज हमें एक थाली परोसनी है. We'll stick to the context and we'll go all the way.
Absolutely, and we've done that. और जैसे आपने आई थिंक खुद बिल्कुल करेक्ट एग्जांपल दिया, हर एक फिल्म का कि एक सर्टेन टाइप की फिल्म की एक सर्टेन रिक्वायरमेंट होगी, and we should enjoy it for that. You know, I haven't watched Pushpa yet, but I'm really looking forward, and I want to watch it with my family, and you know, on full screen here. I want to watch it. I think Samantha is looking amazing. She's done such a good job, and the whole idea is आप जो करें उसको पूरा believe करके करें. That's very important. Coming back to now such genres or such films, I think अब audience भी ये बात समझती है. Audience अब खुद नहीं चाहेगी कि अच्छा इतना intense scene चल रहा है, इतना ये चल रहा है, उसमें अरे आपने ये गाना, it was not required. अब वो समझते हैं इन चीजों को, and they have a very strong opinion. अब आप उस तरह के अगर कमेंट्स पढ़ेंगे तो कमेंट्स में सिर्फ एक्टर्स की बात नहीं हो रही है, कमेंट्स में सिनेमेटोग्राफी की बात हो रही है, एडिटिंग की बात हो रही है, बैकग्राउंड स्कोर की बात होती है, राइटिंग, डायरेक्टिंग. सो देयर सो मच अवेयरनेस नाउ कि पिक्चर बनती कैसे है, हु आर द पीपल हु आर एक्चुअली बिहाइंड मेकिंग सर्टेन फिल्म्स. एंड आई थिंक वो टाइम जा रहा है. दे विल बी, एंड as I said, you need to stick to your genre. अगर आपका genre है which is an out and out family entertainer, which is action and all that, of course, why not? Enjoy those songs. But जहाँ पे नहीं है जरूरत जिस फिल्म में, it's not required, and your film can still do well. कितनी, you don't have to. It's not a comparison at all, but since somebody asked me on social media that is it anything to do our film with a Wednesday, not at all. But just to give you a Wednesday example, just in this context, I don't think it had anything of this sort, but it was such a well-received and a well-made film because it was true to what it was. जब आप एक सही intention के साथ और एक सही समझ के साथ कोई फिल्म बनाते हैं, वो लोगों तक उसी intention के साथ पहुंचती है. I've also been part of certain films where these things have been done कि अच्छा एक ये होना चाहिए. It might work for certain people, but it's not worked for me. It won't work for me because जब मैं नई थी industry में, जब मैं नई आई थी, तो मैंने इस intention के साथ नहीं आई थी. I just thought I really want to make films which are engaging, which have some substance, which have something to say. और मुझे बहुत अलग-अलग तरह के किरदार करने हैं. अब वो journey कैसी रही है? Of course, it has had its ups and downs and highs and lows, but now I've reached a point where I feel I'm very comfortable being who I am and understanding and sticking to what I believe versus doing something which people or certain people would want me to do.
To appease
now this is a time where आप जो अपनी choices हैं, जिस तरह की फिल्में हैं या जिस तरह के actors को आपने maybe while growing up you've looked up to, like for me Smita Patil ji, I think she was such a terrific actress. And you watch her films, she was working in commercial films, she was working in your parallel films, and one of the most popular actresses. इतने कम time में अपनी इस तरह की पहचान बनाकर जाना, and so these are the actors I've for me they are huge inspirations. Wahida ji, you look at so many actresses from the past. So the idea is कि आप वो करो जो आपको जिसमें believe है, और वही है success. When you start giving voice to your choices and people accept you for what you are. So I think people are very aware now. The audience is very aware. Now we need to be on our toes and give them brilliant content and brilliant films and shows or whatever we are doing constantly, which is not easy. It's not going to happen every time. कभी कुछ अच्छा होगा, कभी नहीं भी होगा, but ठीक है, वो एक attempt है, वो हमेशा होना चाहिए.